right, get ready to dive deep today because we're taking on WWE.
Yeah.
You probably know them for like their crazy matches. Mm-hmm. But today,
oh yeah,
we're going way beyond that.
Way beyond.
We're trying to understand how WWE became such a huge phenomenon.
Absolutely. We're going to be looking at their whole history, their strategies, the big personalities, all the stuff that makes this company what it is. And honestly, some of the stuff we found is pretty surprising.
I bet. So today's mission is to figure out the secret sauce that makes WWE.
It's a good question.
So powerful. So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
Who exactly is WWE?
So WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment.
Right.
But it's honestly way more than just wrestling at this point. They've got TV shows, movies, merchandise, even their own streaming network.
It's like they created their own world.
Yeah.
Like a whole pop culture universe.
Yeah.
And you can't talk about WWE without talking about the icons, Rock, John Cena, Stone Cold. These people are huge. They're not just wrestlers. They're like household names. Mm-hmm. Why do you think those figures in particular resonated so well with people?
Well, I think part of it is just like pure charisma. You know, they can connect with an audience. But WWE is also really good at crafting their stories. Like they tapped into something universal. Yeah. Think about The Rock. He wasn't just some wrestler. Right. He was the people's champ. You know, this guy who beats the odds. That kind of story works everywhere.
It's true. And you're right. It's not just the men. WWE's been big for women's wrestling, too.
Oh, for sure.
Trish Stratus, Lita, Sasha Banks.
Huge names.
These women changed everything.
They did.
What do you think their impact's been?
I mean, it's huge.
Not just in WWE.
No, but on, like, culture in general. Well, they definitely challenged how we see gender roles, inspired a lot of young women, and showed the world that women's wrestling is just as good as the men's.
Totally. So we know WWE is a big brand.
Huge.
But what is it really?
Yeah, what is it?
Like, what makes it tick?
Okay, so it's this crazy blend of drama, like scripted drama, athletic competition, and like pure showmanship. Yeah. You've got these storylines that are planned out so carefully, rivalries that go on forever, alliances that change all the time. Yeah. And then you add these like crazy athletic performances.
It's like a live action soap opera, but with huge stunts.
Yeah.
You know, it's choreographed. Right. But you get so caught up.
You do.
In the drama. It's like, I don't know, Shakespeare it's like, with body slams.
And that's why it works. They blur the lines between what's real and what's fake. Yeah. You know, they make this world where anything can happen. Yeah. They take what could be a simple competition and make it theatrical.
Right. You mentioned the storylines before. Those are so important.
They are the backbone.
They keep the fans coming back. And then you have the big events.
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam.
Those are like the Super Bowls.
They bring in everyone.
Everyone.
The diehards, the casual fans.
For sure. It's huge. WrestleMania especially, it's a spectacle. It's not just about the matches. It's like the whole thing. Yeah. The celebrities, how big it is. People come from everywhere.
It really shows how global they are.
Definitely.
They're not just in big cities.
No.
They go all over the world.
Everywhere.
They have fans everywhere. What do you think makes them so global?
I think, first of all, they're really smart about adapting to different cultures. Yeah. They don't try to make everything the same. Right. They change the stories, the characters, you know, so it works for everyone.
They make it make sense to people all over the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And second,
they're really good at telling stories without words.
Without words.
The action in the ring, you don't need to speak the language to get it.
That's true.
It's visceral. You feel it.
Right. That makes it so accessible.
You don't have to understand everything they're saying to enjoy it.
And there are so many ways to watch now. Live events, TV, their streaming service, the network.
They are everywhere.
Yeah.
Which brings up a good question.
Okay.
How did they get so big?
Yeah.
When did all this start?
Well, believe it or not, it goes all the way back to the 50s.
The 50s, wow.
Yeah, it started as this company called the Capital Wrestling Corporation. Okay. Founded by Jess McMahon and Toots Mutt.
Interesting.
Pretty humble beginnings.
That's And then Vince McMahon Sr. And then his son, Vince McMahon Jr. Yeah. They shaped the company into what it is today, right?
Exactly. Vince Sr. built the foundation, but his son had the vision.
What do you mean?
To take wrestling from this small thing to national, then global.
Wow.
He renamed it World Wrestling Federation, WWF.
Right.
He pushed the boundaries. He understood it wasn't just about like athleticism.
Yeah.
It was entertainment, characters, stories. And he was right. He tapped into something big.
He did. And then the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Huge decade for WWE.
Lately.
Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Icons.
These guys were larger than life.
They were.
And they made wrestling mainstream.
They were cultural icons, like Hulk Hogan, the whole American hero thing.
Right.
He was a symbol of strength, optimism, and then Macho Man.
Yeah.
Unpredictable, flamboyant, just pure entertainment.
They really were the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
And then into the 90s, the Attitude Era.
Oh, things got
WWE really took it to the next level.
They did.
They pushed boundaries. They got edgier.
For sure.
And the characters and storylines from that era are some of the best ever.
Yeah, it changed everything. It was a reflection of how culture was changing. People wanted something more rebellious, Stone Cold, The Rock. They became like anti-heroes, challenging authority, embodying this attitude. That resonated with people who felt like disillusioned.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about wrestling anymore. It was about attitude, being different, pushing the limits.
And that's why they're still around today.
Totally.
They weren't afraid to change to give the people what they wanted.
To shake things up.
Exactly. So we've talked about their beginnings, their global reach. But the big question is, why?
Yeah,
why is WWE so popular?
Why do people love it so much?
That's what we got to figure out.
It's a great question. It's a question that's like always intrigued me.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to like how WWE uses those primal instincts.
Okay.
That human need for stories that really hit you in the feels, you know?
You mean like those classic stories, good versus evil, the underdog comes out on top?
Exactly. The stories that have been around forever.
Yeah.
WWE takes those and turns the volume way up.
Right.
These big personalities, these huge rivalries, moments where someone wins or loses that just like get to you.
It make you feel something.
Yeah, you see yourself in these stories.
Right. Your own struggles.
Exactly. Your own hope.
It's not just the stories themselves, though, is it?
No.
There's like a feeling of community.
Totally. A sense of belonging.
Like when you're at a WWE event.
Oh, yeah.
You're surrounded by people who love it.
Who get it.
Yeah. Who are invested in what's happening.
That's so important. They've built this fan base.
Yeah.
That's like insanely loyal and passionate.
They're not just watching. They're part of it.
They're participating.
Right. Cheering their heroes.
Booing the villains.
Arguing online.
It's a whole world.
And WWE knows how to keep them coming back.
Oh, for sure.
Real characters, new stories.
You never know what's coming next.
They're always like one step ahead.
They know what the fans want.
They have a knack for it. That's what sets them apart from other entertainment.
I think so.
It's not the same old stuff.
No.
They're always trying new things.
They're always pushing boundaries.
And they're not afraid to fail.
Yeah, you gotta be okay with that.
That's how you learn.
Totally.
Failure is part of the process.
It is. You learn, you adapt.
You get better.
And WWE has done that over and over.
They've shown they can learn and grow.
They don't pretend everything works.
Right. If something's not working.
They change it.
And that's why they're still here.
After all this time.
They're not just surviving.
No, they're thriving.
They've stayed relevant.
In a world that's constantly changing.
Exactly. Because they're not afraid to change with it.
And it's more than just staying relevant. It's about pushing the limits of what entertainment can be.
Okay.
They created this mix of like athleticism, storytelling.
Spectacle.
Yeah, and they're always trying to be better.
It's like they made a world where anything is possible.
It is.
Where a wrestler can like fly, where a bad guy can change, where an underdog can become a legend.
And that's the magic of it.
Right.
It speaks to that like deep down part of us.
Okay.
That needs heroes, that needs stories that make us feel something.
That inspire us.
Exactly, moments that take your breath away.
It reminds us that we can overcome anything.
Yeah, achieve our dreams.
It's like a comic book brought to life.
It is.
These huge characters, these crazy stories.
It all speaks to something primal.
It does.
Reminds us that we all have a story.
That we can do anything.
If we dream big enough.
It gives those stories a platform.
Yeah.
It shows a world where anything can happen.
Good beats evil.
Dreams become reality.
A world we can escape to.
Yeah, even for a little while.
And remember those things.
Hope, courage.
The human spirit.
When you really think about it,
yeah,
WWE is more than just entertainment.
It is.
It's like a reflection of us.
It is.
Our hopes, our fears, that desire for something more.
It's like a tiny version of society.
Interesting.
Where we play out all those hopes and anxieties.
But in a bigger way.
Exactly. It's exaggerated, over the top.
Right.
But it's a way to deal with the world.
With our own stuff.
And to connect with others through stories.
So WWE is a mirror.
In a way, yeah.
It shows us who we are.
Our love of stories.
Our need for heroes and villains.
This desire to escape.
To find something amazing.
Exactly, and that's why it's lasted so long.
And why it still matters to people.
It speaks to something deep inside.
Something we all share.
Something timeless.
It's been a wild ride.
It has.
Exploring the world of WWE.
We went deep.
We talked about their history.
Their strategies.
Their impact.
The psychology of it all.
But this is just the beginning of the conversation. We've learned a lot about WWE, but like, what does it all mean for the listener?
Yeah, like why should anyone care about wrestling and these characters?
That's a good point.
What's really interesting to me is that WWE's success says something about us, about humans.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think about it. There's so much entertainment out there these days.
So much.
Why is this mix of drama and athleticism still so big?
It's true. They've been popular for so long with different generations.
Through all these changes, something's got to be going on there.
Definitely a deeper reason.
There is, and I think it shows our need for connection, our need to belong, for stories that like really grab you.
Make you feel something.
Yeah, when you're at a WWE event, or even just watching on TV, there's this energy, like you're part of something bigger.
It's like a tribe. You're all in it together.
Exactly. WWE gets that. They've built that community.
They have.
It's a place to come together, cheer, boo, forget about your problems.
It's almost like, I don't know, gladiators fighting?
Kind of, but with more spandex.
Way more spandex.
And explosions.
Right, but under all that, there are those classic stories.
Good versus evil.
The underdog fighting to win.
People trying to be the best.
We connect with those. They're like deep down in us.
They are. They remind us of our own lives, what we want, what we're afraid of.
What we can achieve.
WWE is more than just entertainment then, isn't it?
It's a reflection of who we are.
Our hopes, our fears, wanting something more.
It's pretty powerful when you think about it.
It is. Keep that in mind next time you watch a match.
Yeah.
Look past all the flash. Pay attention to the stories.
You might learn something about yourself.
You might.
What a journey this has been.
We covered a lot.
From how WWE started to why people love it.
History, business, the whole impact.
And the psychology behind it all.
A true deep dive.
So we'll leave you with one last thing to think about.
Okay.
WWE still going strong, right? In a world where things are always changing. What does that tell us about what we need?
What do we really crave as people?
Those stories, those characters that are bigger than life.
Yeah, that's the question.
Something to wrestle with.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into WWE.
It's been fun.
We'll get you on the next one.